This research project is titled Afro Nordic Raciolinguistic Landscapes by Amara, mentored by Dr. Rachel Weisler and Dr. Michael Stern. This research was to explore the raciolinguistic landscapes within the Nordic countries using an Afro Nordic lens, and explores how discussions around race and racial language use has changed from the 2000s to the 2020s using academic text. In addition, it questions how race and identity are being tied to racial language use. This research paper was a literature review that was conducted using academic text. These texts were found by using terms such as race, racial language, raciolinguistics, racism, and search for racial terms in Swedish, Norwegian, Finnish, Danish, and Icelandic. The primary source of this research was from the book titled Afro Nordic Landscapes, which is an anthology that explores this concept. Some of the key findings that came from the course of this literature review were there was limited representations from non-white Nordic academics. However, many of these white Nordic academics interviewed the Afro Nordic diaspora to find answers to their questions. From these readings, I was able to find racialized terms that existed before the 19th century. These terms were later racialized to mean specifically Black individuals, whereas they were previously a more neutral term that explored the early concepts of race, being that it was used for outsiders of these countries. Further terms that were found were from the slave trade, and these persist through the 20th and 21st centuries. These terms are nigger, mulatto, negress, and negro. Finally, one key finding was that the word race has been removed from official documents, as the governments of the Nordic countries have indicated that there is no biological evidence for the existence of race. Instead, they focus on things like ethnicity, skin color, or other considerations when forming the Anti-Discrimination Acts. So, despite the term race no longer being used in these government documents, perpetuation of racialized terms continues. In conclusion, while the raciolinguistic landscape has changed with the use of the term race, the topic remains complex. Additionally, while Nordic countries may not use the term race as an identifier, other countries such as the United States continue to, and this may lead to additional disconnects around the idea of race versus ethnicity. This focus on ethnicity as indicating one's nation of origin makes it hard for individuals who may be ethnically Nordic but do not fit the typical identifiers as such, being that their skin color, though darker, may identify them as non-Nordic. This disconnect of identity to ethnicity leads to issues around the discussions around racialized language terms and their use. Specifically, these terms like nigger, mulatto, and negress have been the subject of debates, but not the non-white individuals have been telling native speakers how to speak their language is not acceptable. However, many of these individuals who are speaking up are ethnically Nordic, but go unheard due to the perception of their skin color putting them as non-Nordic. This shows that there is complexities of the idea of race, ethnicity, identity, and racial language use. For future research, this could be brought in to include other larger groups such as immigrants and bring in the indigenous Sami to understand how they are facing issues around raciolinguistics and those landscapes beyond the Afro Nordic lens. I would like to take the time to thank my mentor, Dr. Rachel Weisler, for supporting me through this project, and Dr. Michael Stern. Both of you have been super helpful with helping develop this research project. Additionally, I would like to thank the McNair Scholars Program, especially Dr. Christabel Dragoo, for all your support, and my fellow McNair scholars. Thank you.